Okay, then it is Sunday today. And, I was thinking we don't really have a good intro to this. It's always different. We need to have an intro. It's like, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wrestling Guild. We bring it to you free of charge. At least once a week, if you're lucky.
Yeah, sure. We need some good intros.
Yeah. Anyway, my name is Chris Mary Holtman. With me, I have the Beast himself, Nick Anderson, the one and only Nick Anderson. We talk about Impact, GFW Impact. That's all we talk about.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes we talk about other GFW things, but there's not going to be anything until I think they announced September 15th is when Amped 2 is out.
Okay.
So
cool.
We'll see about that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk about the Impact that was on the 24th of August 2017 when they crowned a new champion.
Yeah,
finally. And by this time, I think everybody knows already. I mean, it's no secret that, and you wouldn't listen to this podcast if you hadn't seen the show, really. Or, I mean, you can because we say what happens on the show, so it's really a recap as well as a review. Eli Drake, new world champion or global champion.
Congrats to him.
Are you happy with that?
I would say so, yeah. He deserves it. He's a good wrestler, but he hasn't got that much attention. And in a couple, a lot of episodes, he doesn't even get to wrestle. And, being a really good wrestler, I mean, I would say he deserves it.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I liked it a lot. This episode, I think, was a little bit different than we've seen before, but we'll talk about that later. We start with a recap of Destination X, of course, and then the American Top Team comes up and Jeff Jarrett confronts them.
Yeah, we got some big issues. This is about Bobby Lashley, of course. He has to pick, obviously, because these two, groups can't have a peace conversation like adults. So yeah, I guess this is they're not going to be able to have a calm and easy conversation. So Bobby Lashley has to pick one or the other, Impact or
MMA.
MMA, yeah. Thank you.
Well, I think actually what Jeff Jarrett is saying I think he wants him to do both, but this other guy, the leader of America's Top Team, doesn't want him to do both. And of course, they're salty. Impact is salty because they attacked their ref. And you know what? There's a lot of back and forth. And James Storm shows up.
Yep.
He was there. He wasn't on the show, but he was backstage hanging out. That's I was just because they were talking about that he was, he had a concussion or whatever. He was injured for some reason, when he was fighting EC3, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he shows up backstage and he's not on the show.
Maybe that was a sneak peek for maybe the next episode. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
They don't show him by mistake, so I'm pretty sure it's going to lead up to something.
Yeah. And then we have the first of a few segments actually that take place in Jim Cornette's. No, this one wasn't in Jim Cornette's office. This was actually backstage earlier in the day, where Cornette like talks to the boys in the back. You know, he lays down the law, and it says the winner will be the one who fights the longest and the hardest. How did you like this? I mean, because this, as I said, this episode was a little bit different because you actually had like real produced, acted segments here. It wasn't like just a secret camera backstage catching people or interviewing people. This was actually like a real produced segment that was like from you'd think was from a regular TV show. How did you like that?
I think it was great. Yeah, I don't mind it. I think it's just an improvement, really. What would you say?
I would rather see this than I'd see like them standing in the ring for like a long time and just talking. I'd rather see this like drives the story forward better. And it used to be like this in TNA, this kind of style. Maybe it hasn't. It's influenced by Jim Cornette because he was often involved in those kind of segments, or not. I don't know. But I liked it, and I mean, Jim Cornette, I think, is a better on-screen character than Bruce Pritchard is.
Yeah, I would say the same. He's more straightforward, and he's more clear with things, and I just like him because it's easy to understand him. Really, he knows what's up, and he tells you what's up, and that's it.
Yeah,
loud and clear.
Loud and clear. We have our first match of the evening, which is Ohio versus everyone versus the Heat Seekers. OVE win. I thought this was a better match than the first match. What did you think?
Yes, it is an improvement, but I still think it was a bit weird. They're still not that good, and the match wasn't that really, really great either. And I'm still not convinced that they're going to be great in any way.
No.
No.
I admit. I mean, as I said, the match was better, but I'm just not seeing. I guess I'm not seeing what I expected to see from them. I think I was expecting to see more viciousness, but then also like better technical wrestling. And this was, I mean, it was mostly just a bunch of kicks and chops that looked kind of sloppy to me.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I think that's a shame because I guess they could become a really good tag team, but from what I've seen right now, I'm really not convinced.
No, maybe we'll see if they get a better team to go up against. Then, but yeah, then we have Cornette again on the. This is in his office, and he's on the phone. Talking about giving somebody a fine. I'm thinking it was Bobby Lashley because he commented earlier that Bobby Lashley was late.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. He took a note.
Yes. Eli Drake comes in.
Yep. You have Eli Drake coming in. Not that happy once again. But basically Eli Drake comes in and wants to talk about his place in the gauntlet match. He really wants to go. He really doesn't want to go as first, obviously, because then you have to fight all the other 29.
20, yeah, the other 19.
Cornette, he talks to Drake and he says, sure, if we make a deal, if you don't talk to me throughout the whole day, I'm sure we could change your place. And they agree on that, but Cornette has some other plans, and I mean, not really other plans, but it gives him another place.
Yes.
And that place is the second place.
Exactly. And then, as Eli Drake says, that doesn't really matter because you still have to be in the ring first.
Yeah. So I think Cornette was really clever there. Nice going for him.
Yeah.
It was just funny, really.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I thought that this was great, from both Cornette and from Drake. Adonis is what he is. He's not. I mean, he's not the greatest talker. I can't say. I mean, I find Adonis to be kind of a flat character. I mean, I don't really I could take him or leave him.
Yeah, I would say the same. He's all right.
Yeah.
No more.
We have a vignette after that from about Sienna and Gail Kim about their problems, and then Taryn Terrell comes out in, I don't know, her finest outfit. I don't. She had like a teddy on. I don't.
Yeah, her outfit,
Finally, something for the boys to look at.
Pretty much. It's not like I replayed that segment over and over. Totally not. But anyway, basically, Taryn Terrell talked about Gail Kim, bitches at her, and talks shit about Gail Kim pretty much, right?
Yeah, well, she was saying that Gail Kim was kind of cheated on the knockouts division, and didn't care about it, that she kind of left it high and dry to go off and open restaurants together with her husband and stuff like that. I mean, Taryn Terrell is playing some kind of, like, I don't know, some jealous girl, mean girl type of role there.
Really?
Yeah. And then Gail comes out, goes on the attack, and I think that was the end of that section, or that segment, right? We had
pretty much.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's always good to have more women involved, or more women segments.
Yeah.
We didn't get a women's match this time around, but they needed a good like half hour or plus for just the gauntlet match at the end. So we get a little vignette from the live tour. That was fun. It was the same as last week. And then we have a promo basically from guys that are in the gauntlet: Low Key, EC3, Moose, Eddie Edwards, Chris Adonis, Braxton Sutter, Eli Drake, and Bobby Lashley. I thought that this was good. I liked this. I liked how they kind of every single guy had something to say.
Definitely. Yeah, I would say the same. I think it was a good introduction to the gauntlet match. Everyone was saying what they wanted to say, how they're going to destroy, why they want to win, and why they will win. And I think it was really, really good.
This was, I think, this was what was good about this section, or this segment, was that you just kind of followed them as they were walking. It wasn't like they weren't standing in front of the camera saying like, "I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get ready to go." It was just kind of like them being real.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
So that was cool. We saw Lashley and America's Top Team go into Cornette's office.
Yeah.
Apparently, you can just walk into his office. You don't have to knock or anything like that. It's always open. It's always open.
It's all cool. Yeah.
It's all cool. Basically, I think they were just arguing. Lashley wants answers to why he didn't get the title that he deserved.
Yeah, pretty much.
And just Cornette says that the America's Top Team have to leave, and that's basically it.
Yeah, it was really short clipped right there.
Yeah. Then,
just like I'm saying, Bobby needs to pick. I mean, these two groups can't really keep it together.
No.
So, unfortunately, really, I mean, I don't mind Bobby being in both kind of crews and clans or groups, but from what I'm seeing right now, from how this is going, I think he's going to get fed up himself and actually lean one or the other.
Yeah, I'm gonna think that him not winning, the title here and losing to Matt Sydal, I think that's all gonna lead to him questioning whether or not he wants to stay. But we'll see. I haven't heard anything about him leaving, and the thing is, I mean, the reality of it is like this. I mean, MMA, you train MMA more than you actually fight. I mean, fights are few and far between because you do get legitimately injured.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, you can't take that many blows to the head. I mean, that's just how it
Yeah.
is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then we had a vignette for Taya Valkyrie. Does it stir up your Viking blood?
Not really. It was okay. It was cool. No.
Yeah.
Clip of it. Yeah.
That's Johnny Impact's girlfriend for reals.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be interesting. It'll beef up the knockouts division. We have some knockouts news too at the end that we're going to talk about. Then we have a recap of Grado, Park, Laurel Van Ness, and Kong. So we're going into Grado's farewell speech. And he gives his speech. Did it make you upset? Did it make you sad to listen to him?
I think it was actually a bit funny because I could see some people in the audience actually starting to cry.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
I was about to, and I was laughing my ass off when I was watching this. Okay, I mean, I think it's sad that Grado is going when we're watching this, but I mean, geez, it's not like someone died.
They like Grado. They love Grado. Apparently, I thought that was funny too. It's like people were actually seriously crying, but we are in luck because Laurel Van Ness comes out looking, well, normal. She's looking like a...
What a surprise. Holy smokes. I mean, wow. She looks perfect. And I've never seen her.
Yeah, no, you've never seen her normal.
Normal, yeah.
That was before you started watching.
Yeah, exactly. So this is so cool. Finally, her mind is actually working.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, she says that she's become a changed woman because of Grado. That she's everything is fine now, and she asks Grado to marry her. He says yes, and then they make out or something. Yeah.
But then obviously we have one guy who is not going to be so happy about this.
No.
It's going to be Congo Kong, who comes out to the ring, just was about to go to Grado and kick his ass and beat him to death, but you have someone stepping in the way.
Yeah. Mahabali Shera comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I'm wondering if this is the start of something between Shera and Congo Kong, because I think Shera was the one who dumped Congo Kong out of the ring in the gauntlet, right?
Oh yeah.
He low bridged him. He he pulled the top rope down so that Kong fell out.
That could plant a seed.
Yeah.
And this that he did between Grado and himself, and that Shera was in the middle. Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So
that could definitely lead to something.
And that's a feud that I could. I mean, we've talked about that Shera and Kong aren't that great, but this could actually be a feud that could maybe work between them. So we'll see about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're in Cornette's office again. He meets with Eddie Edwards, talks about that he's proud of Edwards, and talks about, that their past together. They've both been in ROH together at the same time. Talks about when Eddie Edwards broke his arm and then anyway wrestled the following night, which is a real thing. Like his bone stuck right out of his arm. And then he just went to the hospital. That's where he got his nickname, Die Hard Eddie Edwards.
Die Hard. Yeah, but he's pretty much telling him, go out there and kick some ass. But I'm proud of. I'm going to be really happy and proud if you win the whole thing and whatnot.
And I'm thinking that now that Drake is the champion, and there's no secret really. It was Eddie Edwards and Drake that were at the end. They were left in the end. They were in there from the beginning, and they were there till the end. So I'm thinking we're going to see a feud between Drake and Edwards, and I think that would be a really good feud.
True that. Sure. I could see that myself as well.
Yeah.
That'd be really interesting. Really interesting.
Then we have LAX in the clubhouse. They were just, chit-chatting, I guess.
Chit-chatting, chilling out, and
this
pretty much.
Yeah, I thought that this was a little weird because they were talking about how like their tequila and beer sales at the club and the amount they're taking care of. I'm thinking either the strippers or the hoes. I don't know.
Yeah, he was talking about the border and stuff like that, and I thought, okay, this has got to be drugs, But how could you say that on TV? So it wouldn't make that much sense. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But at the same time, come on, it's LAX. What do you expect, goddammit?
They were saying, Conan was saying that the white people have been holding them down too long, and it was time for Low Key to step up and to win the whole thing.
Yeah, pretty much, telling Low Key to kick some ass and win this whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. So we get to the gauntlet for the gold, and we were discussing how we were going to talk about this. Well, we'll just, get where we... So it's Eddie Edwards and Eli Drake. They start out. We see Mario Bokara come in, and Kingston. I like the fact that they brought Kingston back. I've been wondering what they were going to do with Kingston. I was a little worried that they were going to release him. But I saw on his Instagram that he was in Orlando with James Storm and Bram, actually, the DCC. So I was hoping that they're bringing them back. And I was worried that Mario Bokara was going to get booted out right away, but he was in there for a bit. He's the first one to get booted out, but I think he's in there. Or was it? No, it's Richard Justice that gets booted out first.
Richard guy,
number 6, yeah. Funny. Because we see Braxton Sutter and Richard Justice comes in, and Richard Justice, he just wants to help, and nobody wants his help.
Because he sucks so much.
So all he does, it's funny because he goes to everybody and he wants to help everybody. Nobody wants his help. Mario Bokara is just like, get out of my way. And Eddie Kingston just tells him to leave. He's just like, go, just leave. Leave the ring. And this was funny. I thought it was funny. And then so he just starts doing squats instead in the middle of the ring.
I know, like, are you training in the actual ring? Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, come on.
So then EC3 comes in. And the funny thing is that Richard Justice, Eddie Kingston, and EC3 are all like, they've all been in an organization called AIW, Absolute Intense Wrestling. So they're friends. They know each other from before. So that's why that's so funny.
Oh, okay.
And then EC3 comes in and he says, Richard, you and I, we're going to take the others out. And instead he throws Richard Justice out. And that's the first elimination.
I mean, it's really hard to teamwork with Richard. He really sucks and he's big and I don't think he knows what to do, really.
No. Oh, then Congo Kong comes in. He just kicks ass for a bit because he's just so big. Everybody starts fighting him. Suicide and Shira come in. And we were talking about that Shira is the one that eliminates Congo Kong.
Yeah.
We see Chris Adonis, Hijo de Fantasma, Johnny Impact comes in. Now, how did you like Johnny Impact's introduction to GFW? Were you impressed?
I would say so, yeah. He kept doing really, really well in the ring. And he didn't get kicked out from the ring until the end. So, yeah, I would say I'm pretty impressed. Unlike Braxton Sutter, he went pretty quick.
Yeah, he got...
Bobby and Moose. I mean, I was expecting so much from Bobby. I thought, this is going to be his. It's his belt now. But no, he got booed out really quick.
Yeah, that's true. We saw, Garza Jr. Falaba comes in for a bit and kicks some ass too. KM, but KM gets eliminated really fast.
Yeah, but I don't know. KM is really big, good, talks pretty alright, but he's not that good of a wrestler. I mean, I don't know. Just my personal opinion. I don't know. He talks really good. He has a great body and everything for wrestling, but he doesn't really know the moves. I don't know.
Well, he doesn't, but he also doesn't get the chance. Really, he doesn't wrestle that much. He wrestles on Explosion, but not so much.
Okay. Right, sure.
We see Ishimori, Lashley, Moose, and then finally Low Key. And everybody, I think the 4 people that are left at the end are Eddie Edwards, Eli Drake, Johnny Impact, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Moose, right? Those are the 4 ones that are left to the end.
Yep.
Because Moose eliminates Lashley by drop kicking him out of the ring.
Beautiful.
Yes. So there's a lot of things that go on, and we don't have to go into who gets eliminated by what. But in the end, it's Eli Drake and it's Eddie Edwards. And I missed. I don't know if you did. But there was a glitch in my feed, so I didn't actually see how Eli Drake won.
I was about to say the same thing, but
it glitched exactly. He ran up to the corner. Eddie Edwards was on the corner turnbuckle. Drake runs up and then kind of like belly to belly suplexes him off of it. But then no, he doesn't. He was trying to, and Eddie Edwards kicks him out. And then I don't know what happened.
And then he has the belt in his hand. So like the other second, I even checked some other files and whatnot, but everything had the same. So I don't know if it actually was like a major glitch that everyone had.
I don't know.
I even tried different ones. So
yeah. Well, anyway, Eli Drake wins, and he's happy about that. Then America's Top Team gets involved again, and we go off the air with that altercation. So
yeah, I mean, this is what I'm saying. They really can't keep a peace. You know, the peace is so easy, but no. In this case, no. And like you say, Bobby even lost against Matt Seidel. He went out pretty quick. Oh no, well he got fought by Moose pretty quick.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's really going to have to consider now if he really wants, if he actually wants to stay, or if he just wants to keep on with MMA.
Well, then we'll see. In the news, I guess coming out of, and I don't know how true this is. I haven't double checked any sources, but from what I've heard, Rosemary was injured last night at the AAA's Triple Mania event.
Okay.
So I don't know what that means. I don't know how injured she is, how serious it is, or anything like that. But somebody was saying that it was that it was a legit injury, that they were trying, that the girl that she was fighting, Sexy Star, legit tried to hurt her.
It can't be really the first time. You know how much anger these wrestlers have?
No, it's probably not. But yeah, we'll see if she is. But the thing is that if she is legit injured, then I mean, it might not be a big deal because they've taped all the way to November, so she might still be good.
I was about to say that, she might still be good, and hopefully she is, and she actually has a lot of time now, kind of a lot, pretty average.
The thing is too, and in other news, Eddie Edwards won the GHC championship in Japan, the Pro Wrestling Noah championship. So, so he's doing well.
Yeah, I actually thought Eddie would win because he came in first, kicked some ass, and he was really close. He was really close.
So, what did you think of this match?
I mean,
or the whole show? Well, I'm thinking, how was it? Yeah,
I would give it. I mean, a B plus. I'm really happy. To be honest. I'm really happy.
I'll agree with you. I'll give it an A minus. I thought that it with everything, the segments and the backstage stuff, I thought it was really good. So good work. It gets me excited for this coming week too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm really excited. It's going to be interesting to also see between Kong and Shera what's going to happen. Is there actually going to be a storyline between these two or not? That's going to be really interesting.
It will be. So that was that for this week. We'll We'll see you next time we talk about Impact, which is on Thursday coming up. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, on all social medias. Leave a comment, say something to us if you like what we do. Yeah. And for Nick Anderson, I am Chris Mary Holtman, and we'll talk to you next week.